Oh yeah, there's the bike. Good evening, Facebook, YouTube. I'm probably gonna put this on YouTube, guys. It's not gonna be any surprise to you. So, I just stopped at the Woodlands Harley-Davidson, and give me a second here, guys. I'm gonna be taking you on a journey. I'm going to talk about some of the things I liked, some of the things I didn't like about the bikes. To start off, one of the big positives and plus sides of test riding these was the 2026 models. I got to be honest, I'm not aesthetically, meaning visually, pleased with them. Not, okay? The only thing that doesn't change is the saddlebags and the Fatboy's headlight. That's it. Other than that, there really was no difference. Okay? And, yeah. So, whoa, hold on. I do not want, okay. I don't like the all digital display on the StreetGlide. I do not like, the missing of the fairing on the Roadking and on the Fatboy. I just don't like the fact that it doesn't have saddlebags. Now, if I had my dream bike, I would have the tire profile of the Fatboy, the headlight fixture of the Fatboy, the Batwing fairing, and music. Be my dream bike. But beggars can't be choosers, and you know how that stuff goes, right? So, anyway, I started out on the Fatboy, and let me tell you, when I opened the throttle, as in when I cracked the throttle backwards to open her up, she pulled. Oh my goodness, did she pull. And what I mean by pull, I mean the bike actually wants to go. Like, the transmission will pull the back tire. Which means it had a ton of torque. I say a ton like it's 9,000 pounds of torque. It's not. But, for the sake of this demonstration and for the sake of this demo ride and this review, I was able to put it in rain mode, I was able to put it in sport mode, and was able to put it in road mode. Now, I was in road mode for most of my test ride with these two other guys. I gotta be honest, it was still pulling. When I put it in sport mode, let me tell you folks, when I rolled that throttle just 1/8 of an inch, that back tire pulled me, okay? It was pretty significant of a pull, to the fact that I knew that in 3rd or 4th gear, that would be a bike to handle. It wouldn't be unbearable, but it'd be a bike to handle. But let me move forward on trying to explain something very critical to you. I do intend to do a lot of long distance riding. So, Mr. Mara, would you ever consider buying a Fatboy as your main primary bike? No, I wouldn't. Would I consider buying it and staging it inside of my garage? Absolutely. Matter of fact, when I just want to ride around town and go for a ride and do things here and there to catch the breeze, 1,000,000%, I'm taking my Fatboy. If I was to, say, go to the store to buy something to go get because I need a part, and I'm going to go grab some last-minute items at the grocery store with me, and then go ahead and take that home, I'm taking the StreetGlide. That's just how things are at this point with my review. And there's nothing wrong with that. Comfort-wise, when I sit on all three of them, my feet, the balls of my feet where the toes are, touch the ground. My heel is off the ground about that much. Now, in terms of relativity, that's not much. But when you compare that to, say, an occurrence that you need to keep your feet planted 1,000 million %, that can be the difference between holding on the bike and letting the bike go. That to me is concerning. Which bike did I have the most control on? I hate to say this, but it's the Fatboy. I didn't want to like the Fatboy all that much, but I did. And what's interesting is 95% of most of your new cruiser riders that are debating between those three models go with the StreetGlide. But when they're debating between the Fatboy and the Roadking, because you have the Roadking, the Heritage Softail, the Roadglide, and the StreetGlide. Okay, so there's different names, but some of them are very similar, right? Roadglide, Roadking. Okay, the Roadking has basically just a headlight and saddlebags. The Roadglide has that shark fairing. Okay, and I don't like that bike because the fairing, the musical fairing in the headlight is attached to the body, which means the bars move independently of the frame itself. Make sense? So the StreetGlide, the fairing is attached to the actual forks. I personally, as a rider, I feel as though I have more control over a bike that the fairing is attached to the forks, right? The handlebars. We call them the forks, okay? And because of that, I just prefer the StreetGlide 1,000,000%. But when it comes to maneuvering and handling, oh man, I would just go to bed dreaming of that Fatboy. Oh. So, I guess in closing, one of the downsides I'm going to mention, and there's just not very many, but I have to address them because this is a very specially tailored video. You guys know I do my videos as raw and genuine as real as possible. I don't sugarcoat them to save no one's feelings. My opinion is my opinion, and it does not affect anybody else of that sort of kind or matter. Okay? You are human, and I am human. We both are bred and designed differently, but both walk the same way. Figuratively. So, for me, I did not like the Roadking because I felt, and I bet you this is adjustable, I just still didn't like it 1,000,000%. The clutch, when I pulled the clutch in to engage my gear, I felt as though that my clutch was giving out way too soon, and when I wanted to engage it, it stalled the bike. You cannot stall your bike when you try to put it in gear when you're going around town, going through curves and turns and stuff like that. You can actually get rear-ended if that happens way too much. It's actually, believe it or not, if you do that too many times, you're actually what's considered unsafe for the bike. Because someone's not going to know you stop, dead stop, it's going to rear-end you and knock you off your bike. Don't ask me how I know. It didn't happen very, very much and very significantly, but it did startle me at that point. The other thing is that, to me, these three bikes, the transmission transfer case, that black-looking thing with the really weird cover, that sits on the left side near where my ankle bone is. So trying to get where my controls are, it's very cumbersome to me. I just don't like it. Now, way that I sit on the StreetGlide, it kind of is no mind, not even there. Like, the mind doesn't really matter kind of a situation. Well, I'm here to tell you that was not the case on the StreetGlide or the Fatboy. I could notice it on the Roadking, which is weird because it's mainly bred for, it was actually designed for all those long haul trips. Like you could put your stuff on your saddlebags, go for an hour, 2 hour long road trip, and just stop and then grab a bite and come back home, stop, fill up, come back home, you know? Also, let me preface this video. Let me stop this video live, but not really live, because I don't want you to assume I am knocking, downgrading, or demoralizing and affecting Harley's integrity, because I'm not. I love all three of those bikes for different reasons. I love the Roadking because it was a little lower than the other two. I love the StreetGlide because it had that fairing and it has my storage. I love the Fatboy because it had power. If you think about it, that Fatboy is the muscle bike, the V-Rod of the bagger family, right? If you think about it, because you can add bags to the Harley Fatboy and make it basically a bagger if you want, like a muscle type bagger. Now, I wouldn't put the fairing on the front because the headlight's integrated in your forks and it would look silly. But that's why I'm like, okay, I don't like this and I don't like that, because it's tailored to my needs, my likes. You wouldn't necessarily buy a Ford. You wouldn't necessarily buy a Nissan SUV. I might buy one because I like them. But that doesn't mean if I don't buy one or tell you I don't like them, that it's not a good fitting bike. Because it is. It's just not good fitting for my taste when I go and leave the store and say, oh, now I regret this. You feel me? You don't want to have buyer's regret, buyer's remorse as soon as you walk out. And I'm trying to prevent that. So, I think with all things considered, folks, I think we're going to go with the StreetGlide. StreetGlide Special. It's all blacked out. And I think I'm going to put it in gunship gray. It's like a darker gray. Think of your U.S. warships. That style gray, where it's like kind of dark but not really light, right? So what else? Guys might be bummed to hear this, but guess what they removed from all three of those bikes? Heel toe shifter. I know. I'm not happy about it either. And from my understanding, the 2018s and 2019s didn't have it either. Kind of a bummer, because I really like the toe heel shifter. And if you aren't familiar with that, basically the gear lever little rocker thing that you get your foot under, when you lift it up, you're lifting the gear into the next gear. So if you think about that, it rocks, right, back and forth. Think of a fulcrum, a midpoint. When you lift it up, what's happening to the back? It goes down, right? So if I push on the back, what happens to the front? It lifts up anyways, right? Canceling each other out. So instead of trying to lift up your foot, what ends up happening is all you do is just tap it with your heel. Like tap it, tap it, tap it. Now, I wouldn't slam it, but just tap it, tap it. And it's a more ergonomical and more effective method of changing gears, right? Now, in reverse, you actually have to step on the top of it because there's no way of doing that. You can't put your foot around the back of the heel and lift it up, right? It doesn't work that way. So that's all in a nutshell of my review today. I'll post some videos and I'll put together some videos, or I'll put together some pictures on the bikes before I rode them and after I rode them, and show you in the daytime, the nighttime, because I started at right around 3:45, and it was great. But for the sake of being completely enamored by the bike to be able to walk out today, unfortunately, I didn't walk out with it. Obviously, I wouldn't be riding in my car. I'd have somebody else ride with me or have them deliver it to me at my house. Now, I'm not saying I won't own one, because Eventually I will, and I have to tell you guys when I think that's going to happen. Probably won't happen for a good while, for many various reasons. It will happen this year, but it just won't happen in the next month or so. So stay tuned for an update from me, because it will happen, and there's another update coming. All right. Yeah, folks, I think that's about it. That's all I wanted to talk about in my review. Harley's got wonderful products. For the sake of this review, just so you're aware, I did sit on the Breakout. I did sit on a Trike, although I don't have my M3 endorsement, the 3-wheel endorsement. I did sit on the StreetGlide Limited. I did sit on a Road Glide. I sat on a Lowrider ST. I sat on a Dyna. What else did I sit on? I think that's about it. I did sit on some pre-owned ones, but I know that when I go in, they're probably going to try to upsell me to a new model, and I get it, because they're trying to clear them from the sales floor. Originally, I did not like the model. I did not like it aesthetically, like I told you in the video from the very beginning. Go back and watch the beginning. I did not like it aesthetically, but when I rode it, folks, my mind shifted. So we went ahead and did a test ride today. I did the Fatboy first, and then we pulled into a really small, weird-looking parking lot. Then we basically, it was me and 2 other guys, so 3 of us. I grabbed the Fatboy. The guy that was doing the like the sales pitch to me, like for all the models, he rode the Roadking, and the guy that was the assistant sales manager rode the StreetGlide. So when we pulled in the lot, he was basically the leader. I followed him, and when he stopped, he said, "How do you like it?" I said, "I love this bike. Oh my goodness." And he said, "All right, you want to try the StreetGlide?" I said, "Absolutely, you bet." You didn't have to ask me twice. So then, when I got on the StreetGlide, we left from there. They led me, and then the Roadking was behind me. The guy that was doing the sales pitch, he was always following behind me to make sure I was okay. And whatever he rode, that gentleman, he would always follow behind me. So it was always them, me, them, like a sandwich. So when I got on the StreetGlide, when I made that, it was a kind of a sharp right-hand turn, and then a sharp left to make it out of that little parking lot. Well, I think it was a little uneven, and it was a little bit unsettling to me. I ended up almost dropping the StreetGlide. It was a little heavy at first, but I caught it. And it wasn't like, oh, it's too heavy, I gotta lay this bike down. Let me tell you something, folks. If it had the tour pack, if it had the lowers, instantly it would have gone down. I would not have been able to pick it back up. Okay? So that's why I don't think I want a fully dressed bike. I eventually would like to purchase a very thin profile tour pack, right? And I'll show you what a tour pack is. It's basically thick enough to be able to put your manuals, some gloves in there. Not thick enough to put a helmet, a full face. Maybe at the very widest point, you'll be able to put your half beanie, your ping pong one, your half face, right? Or a quarter face, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot going on at this intersection right now. Everyone trying to merge and change lanes. Like I said, guys, you guys know I'm raw, I'm real. Hey, look, there's Capital One. Capital One is my hero. They're not endorsing this, and they're not advertising for this, so don't get it lost. I've just been with them for a long time. That's why I'm with them. Okay. I made that left-hand turn, and when I did, and I opened the throttle a little bit, guys, that 117 felt like 101 cubic inches. It was smooth. Whatever they did to the model frame, I can dip it in the corners left and right. It's so light that I think I can take on the tail of the dragon. No joke. Now, take it at full speed? Absolutely not. You gotta be kidding me. but take it at a very comfortable speed and a very safe manner. You betcha. Because I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to be a fairing guy where you see it on the side of the road. It's not good. So, yeah, just wanted to end this video by saying I think the StreetGlide is the winner. No real surprise there. Guys, I also want to see if I can link my StreetGlide video for you. I did shoot a StreetGlide video for Eagle Rider. I had that for a whole 24 hours. It was great. I rented it during mid-afternoon. I had it during the night. I woke up and I ended up having to return it. Hindsight 2020, you really need about 48 to 72 hours on that thing to really fully appreciate it. But I didn't, so I ended up returning it. But nonetheless, I ended up having a full day, and it wasn't just a test ride. I was able to go home, park it, turn it off, get back on it, turn it on, listen to music, sync my phone, all that good 9 yards. And it was great. I loved it. So, I will attach that video in the corner, if you will. Go watch that, or in the comments, check that out. And I think I also rode it one other time. I forget when. I think it was a demo ride. Yes, that was a phenomenal. And I didn't record my thoughts, but oh, maybe I did. I think I did. Oh, I need to go back in my video archives and look and see if I can find that, because I'm pretty sure before that Eagle Rider one, I did the very first test ride and I shared my thoughts. Now, I didn't do it while I was riding. I did it like I'm doing now in my car. One of these days, guys, I'm just going to bring a GoPro and attach it to my helmet or whatever and do it while I'm riding and tell you my thoughts. Okay? So, anyway, this is pretty much a long video. I'm sorry that it ended this long, but you guys now know my thoughts, my opinions, my wishes, and what's to come. Alright? Thank y'all so much. I'm Sean the ToGA Brother. I'm out.